Hey, from the great state of Texas. Well, it's been a few weeks since I've actually sat down and talked to you. But today, the topic I want to discuss is first time buyers, okay? Now, myself as a new agent, my whole niche or what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to help people who are first time buyers, okay? I'm looking to help those who are like myself, maybe a Generation Xer who is just coming into his own. Let's just put it like that. I decided I really want a house now. Be it if I buy one or if I lease, but I am, seeing that it probably would be better for me to buy. Even somebody who might be older, a baby boomer who may decide, hey, I've been living in apartments since the 70s. I want a house. And as I've said before, people are going to tell you, oh, you're too old. You can't do. You know what? Don't let that's all a part of the good fight. You're gonna have those who are gonna fight back at you, and they're not trying to be haters or naysayers. Well, they might be depending on their attitude towards you, but what you it's all a part of the good fight, as I always say. And if you really want your dream home, if you really want to achieve, that house or that condo, don't let nobody tell you what you can and you cannot do, okay? I've seen it time and time again. I've seen people move to South Florida when I was in Fort Lauderdale, 40, 50, 60 years old, been living in apartments forever. And next thing you know, they got a beautiful condo on the intercoastal or a house in Wilton Manors or a house, it's achievable, okay? You just have to work at it because God is not going to just bless you if you don't do your part. Okay, so for those who are first-time home buyers, doesn't matter if you're 20 or 40 or 60, like I said, there are many, many loans and programs out there, and I suggest you do your research, okay? And I'm just here as just, another means of you getting that information and just hearing a word of advice. But this applies to me also because, like I said, every time I learn something or every time I know something, I'm going to fill you in because you're not just somebody out there in YouTube land or, in the world, out here in the country. You're probably just like me. You don't know until somebody tells you, and explain it to you in plain English, okay? So, yeah, there are a lot of first-time buyer programs out there, and I do suggest you do your research on it, okay? And right now, the market is really, really at a good point. I'm on HAR, and I'm looking around, and every day I'm seeing little yellow lights or yellow signs, meaning that somebody done bought a house, the house is under contract. And I could look at one house one day or five houses in one day, and then the next week later or 3 days later, boom, 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 all five of those houses are lit up yellow or gone off the market. And I know in some areas or in some places, these investors are making it kind of hard, and inventory seems like is especially tight in many areas because of the home investors or those who are flipping the houses for a quick profit. They're going in and, they're taking a seemingly decent house and ripping it apart and filming it and, oh, we're on DIY and look at us on YouTube and we're flipping this house and we're going to make all this money and we're going to go and buy another two houses. Okay, so, and it makes, and it's making it's making inventory scarce and making profits, they're making a quick profit from it, and it's escalating the costs, okay? So, on a home that should be really 126 K, you got somebody that went in there and and did a few things to it. Now it's double its value and you can't really afford it. And it's sitting there empty until somebody can get it. And a lot of the houses are sitting for a long time. But anyway, so basically, and you already know from a past video, and I've told you what you need to do to prepare yourself to get, if you were looking to buy a house, it's a whole video on my page. So please go look at that video, okay? But now that you got everything together and you've talked to a loan officer, you want to start looking. You know how much you're approved for. If you haven't already looked at a house and, and that's the house you really want. But in case you are in the headspace like myself, that I feel like, no, let me get qualified first. Let me run my numbers first. Let me get my ducks in line. Let me get my information. Let them tell me what they want to give me. Then I'm going to go look for a house in regards to, to what they're going to give me. I don't want to go look at a house. And yes, I look at houses all day long online, but I know in reality, being a realist, I can't afford those houses. My numbers are just as jacked up as some of yours. I know that my debt to income ratio is like, I'm making up for a lot of my past, for not paying bills, for not taking care of my business, for overspending, wanting too much too fast, okay? Not learning, I'm just learning just like you're learning. So that's what makes this great. I'm not trying to be more than you, and I'm not trying to talk to you like I know everything. I'm talking to you, like I said, because what I learned, I want you to know. And that's the great part about this, okay? And I'm in my headspace that I'm really starting to work on, getting a home. So as I said, there are first-time home buyer loans and programs out there. You do have one of the top is the FHA Loan program, okay? Now with an FHA loan, you can have a credit score as low as 580. As long as you've been at your job for a reasonable amount of time, let's say 2 years, and you can prove other things that they want you to bring in on that to get that loan, you could be going into a house, which is a FHA approved house. And a lot of times your lender will see which houses are or will take FHA loans or, cash sales and such. You can go in with as little as 3.5%. Like I said, it all depends on the loan, your numbers. You might have to put down 5%, but you're going in there. You could go into a home anywhere from between 3 and maybe 5,000. And that's great for some people, because most of us, we put down that much on a car, and maybe some, more than that. Okay. So I suggest that, if you think you can qualify, make sure you get your credit checked, or you check your credit. Go get yourself a great loan officer. If you're here in Houston, contact me. I know 1 or 2 great loan officers I can send you to. Now, if you're somewhere in the middle of the country, in a rural area, there is a USDA loan program, okay? And that is for people who are in lower income, for lower income borrowers in rural areas. So, if you're trying to maybe, not go to the bigger city, and you may be interested in having some extra land to do some farming, or have hot horses or chickens and cows and all that old McDonald's stuff, you may want to seek out and ask about a USDA loan, okay? Now, if you are in the military, or you are ex-military, a vet, you may want to seek out a VA loan. And I've learned so much about the VA loan process recently. it made me sit back and go, damn, I should have joined the military. I shouldn't have been so head on defiant against those guys who came to recruit. But that's a whole nother video, because trust me, you don't want me to get on that soapbox about military recruiters sitting in high schools. But for being a veteran, you can actually apply for a VA loan as long as you're going to stay in that home, because you have to stay in that home that you're going to get this loan for. Pretty much you can go in with you can go in with no down payment. None at all. Okay, for you, your family, military personnel and their families. I mean, that is one of the best parts, I think, about joining the military is the loans that they get. Student loans, the VA home loans. Of course, you have the Mac family, as I call it, or the USA family. You got Fannie Mae and her sister, and Fannie Mae and her brother Freddie Mac. They have there's loan programs on that. You might want to seek that out, because there's a little bit more to that. But if you're able to get a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan, those loans do require at least 3% down, which isn't, but you have to have a strong credit record. You have to have strong credit. And I do believe you have to be at least 680, but don't quote me on that, Sally. Okay. I will, like I said, you have to do your research. A lot of times I don't remember things right off, especially it's early in the morning. Okay. So with a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan, your loan officer is going to tell you what you qualify for. Okay. Unless you're just that savvy yourself, but your loan officer, they definitely, or whoever at the bank will tell you what you qualify for. And like I said, you can go in with just 3% down on the house you want. But with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, you do have to have very strong credit numbers, and your credit got to be solid. Okay. Also, in some areas, there are local first-time home buyer programs. Okay. And those you definitely, I know Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, I think even New York has some really excellent local programs, and they actually help you as first-time buyers. Maybe even you might even apply, not apply, but you might. Well, yeah, you would have to apply, but you might even be approved for a local grant. And there's so much out there right now. There is so much out there. So many people want to help you. I suggest do your research. Get with a realtor. Let them know what you are about. Tell them, honestly, be honest on everything. Don't hold back nothing. It might seem like a therapy session to you, but don't hold back nothing. Let them know what you are going through. Let them know what your dreams are. Let them know what you want to achieve, and let them know exactly what you have going on. And then they are going to get you with the right person, and that person is going to tell you, once you and your realtor talk with the loan officer and everything is put in, then the loan officer is going to come back and be honest with you, which they should, and tell you how it is, who it is, how it's going to be, or what you need to do to get to where you want to get to. Okay. So once again, don't give up. Remember, as a first-time buyer, there's so much out there, so much help, so many homes, and they're popping up left to right. And if you got a steady job, steady credit, and if you don't start working on it now, it's never too late. Get with a really good local real estate agent in your area, somebody you're going to trust, because you're going to spend quite a lot of time talking to him or her. And just keep fighting the good fight, and you will achieve what you want to achieve. All right. Talk to you later.